So on Sunday night, the new series of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here began. Or I'm related to a celebrity, please notice me, as it should be called this year. So if you're like me, you'll be delighted to see Ant and Dec back on our screens in the run up to Christmas, while other people will understandably see it as chewing gum for the eyes, because apparently a washed up celeb eating a kangaroo cock isn't engaging. We've seen ex-Chelsea midfielder Dennis Wise enter the jungle this year to join the likes of former footballers Jimmy Bullard and Wayne Bridge, who have also tried their luck down under in years gone by. This has got us thinking though, how would the 20 current Premier League managers cope in the I'm a Celebrity jungle? This is I'm a Premier League manager, get me out of here. Every year there's a campmate who's bullied by the public, and there's no doubt that this role would be taken up by David Moyes. The West Ham man is a bit of a laughingstock nowadays in the world of football after his failures at Old Trafford, disappointment at Sociedad, then embarrassing stint at Sunderland. Every night David Moyes would be voted to do the Bush Tucker trial, and no doubt every night he'd have a different excuse to cover up why he didn't get enough stars, and why poor David Unsworth is starving. The stand-in Everton boss has been desperate to do the eating challenge, the poor bloke can't survive on a diet of rice and beans. But to be fair, who can? Roy Hodgson would be ruled out on medical grounds for every trial due to his old and frail body, much to the anger of all the blokes watching, who want to make the Palace manager suffer for the Iceland defeat at the Euros, which still hurts especially because of the supermarket's advert that appears before every segment of the show, but at least it helps your mum pick up some nibbles for Christmas tea. Paul Clement would probably be a popular member of the camp, not because of his personality, but because of all the places he's worked. Expect name drops aplenty, as Clement relives the time Carlo Ancelotti took him on a pub crawl around Paris alongside Ibrahimovic and David Beckham, while the campmates all hammer the Swansea boss to find out how big Cristiano Ronaldo really is downstairs. Liverpool's Jurgen Klopp would polarise opinion, both with the viewers and the campmates, because his infectious energy will surely begin to grate on you a couple of weeks in, flapping his arms and jumping up and down, ignoring the fact that the dunny needs to be emptied and the fire is about to go out. Well up for any of the trials, Klopp would go deep into the competition and would have his trusty sidekick David Wagner alongside him all the way, maybe not finishing as high as Klopp due to his lesser name. You'd imagine there'd be friction between Maurizio Pellegrino, Claude Puel and Maurizio Pochettino, with the former two annoyed at how well the current Spurs man did at St Mary's, where Pellegrino was struggling to make an impact and where Puel was sacked despite delivering a cup final and a top half finish. Pochettino wouldn't be fussed though, he's too concerned with trying to start a rift with Guardiola by constantly calling him the manager of the Kevin De Bruyne team, constantly poking the Man City boss as he stares into a picture of his Stone Island jacket, kissing it as he goes to sleep at night. Chris Hughton would be the quiet, dependable member of the camp, keeping it clean and maintaining order, whilst refusing to take any of the spotlight. There'd be no hysteria when he gets booted out early, but he'd get a big hug off Ant and Dec, who still don't think he should have been sacked by their beloved Newcastle all those years ago. And that brings us on to Rafa Benitez. The Spaniard would get preferential treatment from Ant and Dec, slipping him in snacks through the back door to make sure he doesn't go hungry, and making him immune from all the nasty challenges, just to ensure he would never ever leave Newcastle and break their hearts. Mark Hughes would probably be voted out first because who really cares about the Stoke manager nowadays, while Tony Pulis would infuriate the nation with his attempts to be the alpha male of the group, going on as if he's on Bear Grylls The Island rather than I'm a Celeb. For goodness sake, Tony, stop trying to drink your own piss. Antonio Conte's time in the jungle could go one of two ways. He'd either fly into the final with his new tactics that the ITV show has never seen before, or he'll not be able to cope with the damage it's doing to his hair, fearing his barnet could go back to the way it was during his playing days. Plus he'll probably have a very angry Diego Costa voting for him to do every challenge. Although I highly doubt he'll be watching in Spain in all honesty. The sulking Jose Mourinho would probably come about fifth, being the talk of the show as he picks arguments with pretty much every manager, going back on himself and contradicting his words, politicking his way through the competition before eventually falling to the public vote and coming about fifth. As for Arsene Wenger, fourth place, just missing out on the final. Come on, you'd think less of us if we hadn't said it. In third place we've got Eddie Howe of Bournemouth. A likeable bloke who will coast through the competition, up for anything while putting his arm around those who are really struggling, the biggest success story of the series, opening up multiple career doors once he leaves the Australian jungle. Runner-up would be Watford's Marco Silva, the one all the ladies fancy, the one the guys want to have a pint with, and the one that Everton want to appoint as manager. Marco Silva would probably be one of the favourites throughout the competition as one of the most coveted managers around lately. Although you'd probably have Phil Thompson and Paul Merson back at home whinging why an English manager wasn't given the chance to sleep with 1,000,001 cockroaches. And our winner is Sean Dyche. While the Burnley man would face difficulties from Tony Pulis for trying to be the camp leader, Dyche would bat off the Welshman's advances with the support of the public, putting in a resolute performance throughout the 3 weeks, easing through the challenges, avoiding conflict, but not being afraid to speak his mind when needs be. Yes, Sean Dyche is our Premier League King of the Jungle. So that's how we think every Premier League manager would do on I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here. Let us know who you think would win in the comments below. Thanks for watching this terrible video, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.